Marthyn here. I'm playing drums for the Austrian metal acts Blood, Dry and Belphegor. In this video I'm gonna be talking about my hand technique. I'm using a variation of different techniques with both of my hands, like the open-close technique, finger control technique in German grip, finger control technique in French grip, and so on. The reason why I'm using different techniques is first to be able to play blast beats for longer periods of time without getting exhausted too quickly, and second to keep my blast as constant and tight as possible. The most important thing to keep in mind when you're learning a new technique is always to start slow and gradually increase the tempo. Don't increase the tempo before you feel totally relaxed and confident. I hope you can learn something from this video and are able to apply one or more techniques to your everyday playing. Enough said, let's get it on. Alright, let's start with the techniques I use with my left hand. During blast beats I'm constantly switching back and forth between the finger control technique in French grip and German grip. In French grip I generate most of the power out of my index finger, my middle finger and my ring finger. When I'm using the finger control technique in German grip I mostly use my middle finger, my ring finger and my pinky. I'm switching back and forth between these two techniques after every bar. This means that my index finger and my pinky get a 1 bar rest every second bar. This way I'm able to play for longer periods of time without getting exhausted or cramping up. Let's see how this looks like in different tempos. For the faster stuff, I'm switching back and forth between French grip and German grip every 2 beats, not after every bar. This way it's even easier to save energy and not get exhausted too quickly. When I play blast beats on the hi-hat, I'm using the open-close technique in German grip most of the time. This technique consists out of 2 different strokes, a downstroke and an upstroke. The main advantage of this technique is that you can use it on surfaces with little rebound and still get a lot of power out of it without wasting too much energy. That's the reason why I use it mainly on the hi-hat. And this is how it looks like at different speed levels. When playing on the right cymbal, I play everything in German grip. Most of the power comes out of the wrist with a little bit of help by the fingers. With this technique, it's really easy to place accents on the right bell during blast beats, which I like to do a lot. Let's see how that looks like in different tempos. If you want to apply one or more of the described techniques to your everyday playing, I recommend you to first practice them on a practice pad till you feel totally comfortable. Repetition is the key to success, so take your time and don't increase the tempo before you feel relaxed while using new techniques. In the following clips you're gonna see me playing blast beats on the hi-hat at different tempos. Note that I'm using the open-close technique with my right hand and the finger control technique in German grip and French grip with my left hand. Now let's check out blast beats on the right cymbal. I like to place accents on the right bell to give my blast beats a more structured sound. This way it's easier for your band members to feel the pulse of the beat while you're playing. This is how I apply the described techniques in a live situation. I get asked a lot about the gear that I use live or in studio. After a long period of trying out different brands and series, I finally found the gear that provides the sound and quality I need for my everyday playing. Let's start with the cymbals I use. I'm using Marthyn cymbals exclusively. For this video I've been playing on my 14-inch MB10 medium soundwave hi-hat and my 20-inch MB10 mega bell ride. I'm using the cymbals live and in studio and have never been disappointed. On my first US tour, one of the drummers used a 14-inch Tama steel snare. I was totally stunned by the great sound he got out of it. So right after I got back home to Europe, I bought one for myself and never thought about changing back since then. This snare produces a heavy volume and rich sound. It has turned out to be the perfect snare for my style of playing. When it comes to sticks, I'm using Big Firth Extreme 5As exclusively. The Extreme 5As are perfectly balanced sticks. They are a bit longer than the regular 5As, which turns out to be really important for the faster stuff I'm playing. This extra length and weight makes a big difference, especially when you're using the finger control technique. So, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you can use some of the described techniques for your everyday playing. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me via MySpace.